This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Our top story, a Suncoast developer known for providing affordable housing is abandoning a project that would have brought hundreds of inexpensive residences to the edge of downtown Sarasota.
Harvey Vengroff claims building costs and impact fees have made the project no longer affordable. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick explains why.
Developer Harvey Vengroff planned on building 368 affordable apartments on this 8 acres of land just off of Fruitville Road. But after receiving yet another bill, those bills totaling now $300,000, he's calling it quits. It's no secret. The city of Sarasota is in dire need of affordable housing.
There's a lot of us that work for a living that need a place to live, and the city doesn't choose to bend the rules to allow us to have a place to live that's affordable.
That's where Harvey Vengroff comes into play. Vengroff planned on taking this land and building 5 6-story buildings that would house affordable apartments with rents ranging from $650 to $950 per month.
We spent about $300,000 in paperwork.
Here's the stack of bills. This invoice from the city shows tens of thousands of dollars in fees.
There's a lot of stuff that you have to go through in order to build affordable housing that you don't have to go through if you're building condominiums.
The last straw for Vengroff was receiving another $1,600 invoice Friday morning.
Geez, we've had 3-4 years worth of planning board meetings, and we just want to build some affordable housing, and the city needs affordable housing, and I'm not going to spend any more money on it.
The city hasn't talked to Vengroff about his plans to quit the project, but city manager Tom Barwin says his concerns about high impact fees are valid, that it's something that needs to be revamped.
Developers just can't eke out that 25, 30, 40% profit margin on these types of projects when they're paying those big impact fees. So far, our hands are pretty tied on that. We waived the only fees that we were capable of waiving.
Barwin says the city did what they could for Vengroff, that they had gone ahead and doubled the zoning for the property, which doubles its value.
We were working very proactively with him to get this done.
But Vengroff has had enough. He plans on building affordable housing elsewhere, in Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville.
Other cities in the country ask us to come there and build affordable housing, and Sarasota says, you know, we don't really want it.
While Sarasota's need for affordable housing remains an issue. Vengroff says he doesn't plan on selling the property, that he's going to leave it as is for now. Reporting in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thank you so much. A Venice Retirement Center is about to get a $100 million overhaul. Village on the Isle breaking ground on 3 new buildings this week. The center was built 30 years ago and hasn't had any major work done onto it since then. But 2 new assisted living buildings are being added, as well as a new health center building. The existing buildings are all 2 people to a room, but after the work is done, everyone will have their own room.
If somebody wants to sleep in until noon, if that's what they're used to all their lives, they can do that. If they want to get up and have eggs at 9 o'clock in the morning, they can have eggs at 9 o'clock in the morning.
$100 million overhaul is expected to be complete by the end of 2019. Puerto Rican families displaced by Hurricane Maria living in Florida will now have a little extra help finding a job. Florida Governor Rick Scott announcing $1 million will be invested into 12 of the state local workforce development boards to help displaced job seekers. FEMA will also provide case management services for families displaced by the storm. Governor Scott also mentioning efforts to help displaced children transition into Florida schools.
We work to make sure that we got in-state tuition for people that are coming here, made sure that the children that were coming here could get into our schools. Our school systems around the state, our school districts have really done a good job getting people here. Yeah, they've done a really good job.
To date, the Career Source Florida Network has helped more than 7,600 Puerto Ricans find jobs.
Well, a little bit of an overcast day today, but you know, no rain, so that was pretty nice.
A little bit of rain.
Well, yeah, earlier.
Yeah, not too much, but let's get more with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Cold front, yes, coming through. Get ready for some big changes. Temperature-wise, we had some showers and some moderate rain at times in Manatee County, not as much in Sarasota County. So you can see what really is happening is that cold air is still back behind us. The front hasn't pushed through yet. There's a prefrontal trough that we dealt with earlier, and again, a tough flu season. We'll talk more about that later, but that cold air continues to spill in already into the panhandle. Temperatures down into the 40s there. Well, that first round of showers down mainly along the East Coast. We had a few brief showers here into Manatee County. Those have since moved on, but one or two lone showers not out of the question through this evening, but most areas will stay dry as some drier and cooler air filters in. Well, temperature is already down to the 40s in Pensacola. It's 48 there, 20 degrees warmer in Jacksonville, 73 now in Orlando, and 76 in Miami. Well, sustained winds out of the southwest, that would indicate that we have not had a frontal passage quite yet. These winds and these arrows will all switch around to the northwest beginning later on tonight, and then it will start the beginning of our second round of winter here. We had our first round last week, and now another one here for next week for the most part. Out of the west-southwest at 11 to 15 miles an hour up and down the southern portion of Sarasota. Well, more on our weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. An update on the deadly nationwide flu outbreak. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the latest report shows we are now officially in a flu epidemic. As ABC's Elizabeth Hurd reports, officials say the rate of hospitalizations for the virus has doubled in the past 2 weeks, and doctors continue to stress it is not too late to get your flu shot.
The flu reaching epidemic proportions with 49 states now reporting widespread flu activity. That announcement from the CDC, the agency also stressing the most vulnerable groups remain people over the age of 65 and children younger than 5 because their immune systems are not as developed as those of older children.
Everything in sight that kids touch.
In Idaho, the situation so dire, cleaning crews are working overtime after an entire school district shut down this week. In North Carolina, this school also forced to close after 160 students got sick.
Kids love to share pencils, they love to share toys, but when that happens, you're going to have a lot of germ interaction as well.
So doctors say to keep the virus away, wash your hands often and carefully. And if you haven't, get those flu shots. Also, if you are feeling sick, don't assume it's too late to fight the bug with antiviral drugs like Tamiflu.
You've heard us in the past say they only work in the first 48 hours. New data out of the CDC suggests that is not true. There is particularly a survival benefit in higher risk patients if given after that 2-day window. So treatment should not be withheld just because you're at 49 hours.
CDC officials say we are now probably at the peak of the flu season, but the season could last another 13 weeks. So remember, officials say keep washing your hands and get that flu shot. Elizabeth Hurd, ABC News, New York.
A new middle school will be added to the growing Lakewood Ranch community that will serve more than 1,000 students. The school board approving the construction next to B.D. Gullett Elementary School. 2 of the middle schools in that area are above capacity right now, which triggers the need for a new school. It's set to open in August of next year. The school district is accepting now name suggestions.
The push to repeal red light cameras in the Sunshine State is gaining momentum. The House voting today in favor of a bill that would ban the use of cameras in Florida starting in 2021. This is the 3rd year in a row that the House has passed that legislation. Supporters of the repeal say the cameras are being used by cities and counties as a way to make money, but opponents say the cameras help traffic safety. The bill now heads to the Florida Senate.
A Navy pilot from Lakewood Ranch who died in a plane crash has been laid to rest. The family and friends of Lieutenant Stephen Combs, Jr. laying him to rest at Sarasota National Cemetery today. Lieutenant Combs and 2 others died in a November crash when the plane he was piloting went down in the ocean southeast of Okinawa, Japan. It was headed for the USS Ronald Reagan. According to Combs' obituary, it is believed his plane experienced some sort of engine failure and was forced to make a water landing. It was a decision that likely saved the lives of 8 of the 11 people on board.
Wow, certainly a hero there, and of course, thank you for his service.
Yeah. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, members of a Venice neighborhood get a manatee in trouble the help it needs to survive. We'll take a look at that rescue.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus why experts say antibiotics could pose a risk when taken during pregnancy. That story coming up in Health Smart.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Search teams are out again today in Southern California, working desperately to find 5 people who are still missing after this week's deadly mudslides. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in hard-hit Montecito with the latest.
Through unrecognizable wastelands of what used to be neighborhoods.
The house just right there that I know my kids used to play with those kids, and the house, there's no sign of the house. It's not even there.
The ongoing relentless search for survivors of Tuesday's mudslides here in Southern California.
We know that window's closing, but we really are doing our best to search and rescue. And you've heard those stories from around the world where people have been missing for 8 days, 9 days, and they were found alive.
With that optimism fading, crews clearing mud from homes and businesses, including here at the historic Montecito Inn built by Charlie Chaplin in 1928, moving forward with a grim awareness.
The fire department keeps coming in and checking on us, and we're supposed to call them if we find any bodies.
Already 17 people are confirmed dead, the youngest just 3 years old.
It's hurting all of us. It's very heartbreaking.
And many who made it through the deluge of mud, debris, and massive boulders have spent days trapped in their homes with no power and no running water. With those issues, nearly the entire town is now under mandatory evacuation orders.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
And those residents are told it could be 2 weeks before they're allowed back. And no surprise, it is expected to take months of the kind of work you're seeing behind me to clean all of this up. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Montecito, California.
And take a look at this closer to home. Neighbors near Venice Canal did their part to help some distressed manatees this week. They said they noticed one of the animals looked very stressed, so they did the right thing by notifying wildlife experts. So with the help of Florida Fish and Wildlife and Moat Marine volunteers, they did get that sea cow into a van, which took it then to Moat Marine for rehab. The manatee, we're told, is okay, but was just cold from the water, and his body temperature had dropped. And remember, if you see a stranded manatee or a dolphin, whale, or a sea turtle here on the Suncoast, you can call Moat Marine's Stranding Investigation Team at 988-0212.
Such a great resource to have here on the Suncoast for those animals that are in hazard's way.
Countless, yeah.
Absolutely. I was out at the fair yesterday and talking to Captain Scott Moore, and he said that for the most part, the snook made it through this last cold snap. There were a couple of snook that he saw that were died as a result of the cold water that had moved in, but another round of cold air coming in, and maybe not as cold, but still you're going to notice it big time tomorrow as winds switch around to the northwest. We did have some rainfall today. Van Way's webcam showing that action. A little bit of fog around this morning, and then the lens getting wet there. We had some rain and then some sun and then some clouds to follow that. So it's been there's a little brief shower off in the distance. So a passing shower not out of the question. Looks like, though, things are going to be calming down in terms of rainfall here, but not in terms of wind. Wind is going to be the big deal tonight. Small craft advisories remain in effect. Seas way up there, up to 5 to 7 feet high right now. They'll come down a little bit for us tomorrow. Small craft exercising caution tomorrow if you're boating. It's going to be tough going. Now that front is still well back to the west of us. Snow as far south as Tennessee and even into Alabama and Mississippi. You can see a little bit of a brief shower right there into Alabama and Mississippi. Mississippi getting some rain snow mix earlier, and then a brief snow shower right in the northern portion of Alabama just at around 2 o'clock this afternoon up until about 4, and into Tennessee near Nashville. Quite a bit of snowfall there right now. Here's a look now at the weather headlines as they read. Rain ending here for the most part. It's pretty much over as far as the rainfall goes. Colder, though, and breezy conditions through the weekend. We'll be staying cool, and there'll be a series of cold fronts moving through next week, which will keep temperatures well below average right through Friday of next week. Now, the the southeast radar picture showing the showers along the east coast and down to our south. Not much going on here. The Keys got a few showers. We had a brief period of moderate to heavy rainfall earlier into Manatee County. That has since moved on, and also North Sarasota County, but not a lot of widespread heavy rainfall, and looks like it'll stay dry for the next 7 days at least. Temperature right now 70, and the dew point 66, so it's still warm and it's still rather muggy out there with a humidity at 87%, the barometer 2988 inches, and that is falling, but it will start to rise as high pressure builds back in. Well, here's a little taste of what's to come. Pensacola down to 48 degrees right now. It's still warm out ahead of the front in the 70s in Orlando, Miami, Key West, all into the low to mid 70s there. And the Gulf water temperature has warmed back up, rebounded into the mid 60s now. Out at the end of the Venice Pier. Well, the futurecast showing 1 or 2 brief showers are possible overnight. A sprinkle, if you will, not much concentrated rainfall at all. We're not expecting any measurable precipitation through the morning hours. And then Saturday, it's sunshine and cool conditions with highs only into the low 60s on Saturday. We'll make it feel even cooler, though, with that stiff north wind. And we'll see that north wind staying with us on Sunday and even into Monday. Nationally, the story is the big snowstorm now taking shape into parts of Kentucky, southern Indiana, into Ohio as well. Toledo getting some snow shower activity all the way down to near Columbus. You can see some freezing rain there, and all the way to Cincinnati are getting snow now, but they had some freezing rain earlier. And over toward New York, Watertown getting some freezing rain and snow on the way. Look at all the cold air diving southward now. 15 in Kansas City, St. Louis at 17, 25 in Cleveland, and 18 in Toronto. So yes, the Arctic air is spilling southward and is not going to move much out over the upcoming 7 days. Small craft advisory in effect. Winds will be out of the northwest through this evening, picking up, and then tomorrow, exercise caution. The next tide is a high tide at 8:51 and sunset at 5:56. Well, here's the 7-day forecast. As it shapes up, breezy and cool tomorrow, highs in the low 60s, 61 for a high on Sunday with sunshine. And notice the low temperatures staying into the 40s, even some 30s, upper 30s by Thursday morning as that reinforcing shot of colder air moves in, but never getting out of the 60s all of next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Let's get a check on our first alert traffic. No major crashes in the area right now, but we are seeing a lot of green on the map. Maybe just a few little slowdowns, some yellows and oranges on the map as you head north on I-75. but otherwise, roads are looking good at this hour. Jacqueline.
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, future moms, listen up. Are you taking prescription pills while pregnant? ABC's Lana Zach gives us a look at the medications that may pose a risk to your pregnancy and why you should check twice with your doctor before taking them.
Pregnancy. For all the joys, it's not without its issues, and for many women that includes urinary tract infections, a condition that is more common in pregnancy. The standard treatment is a round of antibiotics, but not all antibiotics are safe for developing babies. Some of these medicines are known to potentially cause birth defects. In 2011, the nation's top OBGYN group recommended against 2 antibiotics, nitrofurantoin and sulfonamides, urging pregnant women to avoid them in the first trimester if at all possible. Still, a new CDC report finds that 35% of first trimester moms with private insurance are getting nitrofurantoin for their UTI and 8% are getting sulfonamides. Sometimes there might not be a better option for treating the UTI if it's resistant to other antibiotics, and some first trimester moms might not even know that they're pregnant at the time they're prescribed these meds. But since these drugs are worse for developing babies than other antibiotics, pregnant women need to be alerted and talk to their doctors about all of their antibiotic choices. With this Medical Minute, I'm Lana Zach, ABC News.
Check your freezers. An ice cream manufacturer has voluntarily recalled 2 of its products nationwide. Fieldbrook Foods says its orange cream and chocolate-coated vanilla ice cream bars may have listeria contamination. The affected products were made at the company's Dunkirk, New York plant in 2017. It's a widespread recall with products sold at a number of retailers under a number of names. The products were sold at chains including Kroger, Aldi, BJ's, and Safeway. The FDA says no illnesses have yet to be reported. A shocking shootout and police chase all caught on camera, and a heroic dog saves a sleeping family from a house fire. The stories when we come back.
It's time to go boating, but first, don't miss the 17th annual Charlotte County Boat Show, January 11th to the 14th at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds. Show admission is free and on-site parking is only $5. January 11th through the 14th. Visit GoBoatingFlorida.com for more information.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
It's time to go boating, but first, don't miss the 17th annual Charlotte County Boat Show, January 11th to the 14th at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds. Show admission is free and on-site parking is only $5. January 11th through the 14th. Visit goboatingflorida.com for more information.
Shocking video released by authorities show a violent encounter with an attempted murder suspect.
As Jeremy Roth shows us, that showdown sparking a shootout and chase down a Utah interstate.
A suspect is in custody after a violent shootout and chase with police in Utah. Authorities released dashcam footage of the incident, which occurred on December 20th. The suspect, who was wanted for attempted murder in Colorado, was spotted on Interstate 15. Police say he was wearing body armor and fired 3 shots at officers. Officers responded, firing nearly 50 rounds in less than 6 seconds. The shootout set off the chase. At one point, an officer drove ahead and fired at the driver, causing him to crash. The suspect, who was injured in the shooting, surrendered. He was charged with attempted aggravated murder, theft, and related counts. Another motorist also received non-life-threatening injuries in the shootout. Okay, now on to more positive things. A Missouri family is lucky to be alive, and it's all thanks to their dog. Homeowner Matt Boudreau says he woke up around 2 a.m. to the sound of his dog, River, barking. He got up, took River out to do her business, and went back to sleep. 15 minutes later, River started barking again. That's when they discovered an intense fire raging inside the family's garage. They quickly gathered their 3 kids and the dogs and got out of the house.
The fire had gone through the garage walls and was burning down the front porch.
Boudreau says they have working smoke detectors in the home, but when it came to keeping the family safe, River's heroic vigilance beat the devices to the punch.
They went off, but the dog went off first.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, Minnie Mouse is finally getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Mickey got his in 1978. Minnie is also being honored for 90 years in the motion picture business. The iconic mouse first appeared in Disney's Steamboat Willie. Donald Duck, Tinkerbell, Winnie the Pooh, Snow White, and Kermit the Frog already have their stars. The star unveiling will be on Monday, January 22nd.
Well, it took so long, huh? On its 30th birthday, the Florida Lottery is announcing the winner of that huge Mega Millions jackpot last week. He's only 20 years old, Shane Missler of Port Richey, collecting his winnings in a one lump sum totaling more than $281 million. He chose to receive his winnings in a trust that he's calling Secret 007 LLC. When asked what he plans to do with the money, he said, quote, "I'm only 20, but I hope to use it to pursue a variety of passions, help my family, and do some good for humanity." After realizing he had won, the first call he made was to his brother, and then he shared the news with his dad over coffee the next morning.
I wonder how that coffee date went. I'm sure his dad was like, wait, what?
Yeah, the coffee may have been spit out a little
right.
bit there, yeah.
Well, congratulations to him.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, weeks away from the spring training season, Elite Airways pulling a critical flight for baseball fans to SRQ. We'll look at the move and how it will impact travelers.
Plus, a look at the local performers being inducted into the Sarasota Circus Ring of Fame.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.